Hey guys, Lytane here. Today we'll be having a look at Steins Gate, My Darling's Embrace, and seeing if it's worth it. Steins Gate My Darling's Embrace was released in 2011 as an Xbox 360 exclusive title in order to get more sales in Japan, as Microsoft isn't a very popular system over there. It was later ported to the Switch, PS4 and PC in 2019. Developed once again by 5BP, the original story writer, I'm going to say this wrong, Chiyomaru Shikura did not write this game. Instead, he passed it on to Naotaka Heishi, the reason being that the core concept of the world and the characters are all done, so he thought other writers could have fun and bring in new ideas. As long as it's a spin-off title, and that's what we got. The first spin-off title to the Steins Gate visual novel, coming before Linear Bounded Phenagram, but I just covered them in the wrong order, my bad. As with all spin-offs in the series, they aren't part of the main story, but they do exist in the same universe, just on different world lines. This game also assumes that you have played the original Steins Gate, as it skips all of the initial setup of time travel, rules, and even how the characters met. This is also a much lighter game, being more focused on the romantic dating aspect than anything else. It's just for fun. The story behind this is that Okarin accidentally ends up in this world line, one without SERN or without World War III. So what's his driving conflict? Paying the electricity. Yeah. The lab is running low on cash, so they decide to figure out new ways in order to bring in the moolah. This ranges from selling old gadgets, creating new ones, and even partnering with a maid cafe. With lots of shenanigans, whichever route you decide to take, you will be embraced by a new darling. So who will you choose? My Darling's Embrace is a visual novel like all of the other games in this series. That means you'll be mostly reading through the story, interacting with your phone every now and then in order to read a message or make a call. The main draw to this game though is the romantic adventures that you can have with the other characters, making the game have 6 different routes. I'm happy that Daru isn't one of them, because if you could get romantic with Daru, that's gross. This game is really split into 2 halves. The first is the common route and has all of the setup and ideas. These are the story threads that the other routes will use later. But because they are all kind of vague and mashed together, the first half is quite a slog to get through. Plots don't go anywhere, situations don't get resolved, and it feels really clunky. The second half are the individual routes, where the catalyst for these are a single D-mail, and depending on when you send that D-mail, you get a different route. Except you have no idea whose route you're gonna get when you send that D-mail. So if you want a particular character, say Kurisu, you'd have to try and guess when to send the D-mail, or I guess you could look it up, but that's kind of lame if you just wanted to go down a specific character's route. Unlike Linear Bounded Phenagram, you can't just outright choose whose story that you want to follow, and instead of making them all self-contained, they made this jumble mess at the beginning in order to have the common route so they didn't have to put as much work into some of the backstories for the actual routes themselves. The worst part is that one character is locked behind a specific set of emails that you have to respond to. Why would they do that? Well, I do know why. Fan service. Yeah, so if you just wanted to go down their route and you couldn't figure out how, it's really lame. Like, what if that's the only character you care about? It's a bit of a dumb idea. So I was smart and I made a save just before you send these D-mails, so that way when I finished a route I could just reload that save and send a D-mail at a different time in order to get the other character's route. But these ones also reference the common route, and because I had skipped it all and I didn't reread it, I was lost for some of the plot points and some of the things that they were saying. So that common route just really did not stick in my mind. But you know what would stick in my mind? If you liked, commented, and subscribed. Hey, great segue. Yeah, I know. That was lame, but it really would. If you're enjoying the content so far, just let me know. I try to reply to like almost every single comment that I've ever seen. So, you know, if you comment, you're gonna get a reply from me. But anyways, let's continue on. But that's not to say that this is all negative. Each of the individual character routes are pretty good, even if I don't particularly like them all. They all have great humor, and they are all based on the particular character, and all have fun situations, lots of jokes, and a little bit of fan service for that character. Some of these routes though can be a little creepier than others, like in Suzuha's route because it relies heavily on Daru. Ugh, what a perv, I really don't like that guy. But some of them are just silly fun, like Moeka's route, they start a band to enter a song contest, and guess who the lead singer is? Yep, the girl that doesn't talk. It's as silly as it sounds. The art and music are still top notch. Hugh and his style is just so very pleasing to me, and the new CGs are pretty good. If you like the other games in the series, you'll enjoy the look of this one as well. And that opening song is also really catchy and dumb as hell, and also really full of fan service. The only problem I really had in the game was Mayuri's voice. It was just really badly mixed. She was much lower than everyone else, and I struggled to hear her. Even when I turned it up to full, I had to turn down the music just to hear what she was saying. It's a strange oversight. Now, for some spoilers in each of the routes, so skip ahead to this time if you want to avoid them. Kurisu's route was great. I love the two of them together, and this just didn't disappoint. They fight, they are vulnerable, and they have such a nice story. They hold hands so much, it's cute. I also like because they have to stay close to each other or they get zapped, Kurisu's sprite is bigger on the screen to show that she is closer to you. It's a nice touch and a great attention to detail, and it's probably one of my favorite routes. Moeka's route started off fantastic with that band idea, and how she texts the lyrics to you, it's just gold. I like that we get to know her more and see her more vulnerable side. It was really cool. She also really does shine in this route, more than in any other game she has been in. Plus, Tennoji is all paternal, which is always lovely to see. It's probably tied favorite with Kurisu's route. To me, Faris's route was mixed. Her maid cafe is going under due to some shady dealings with 4 degrees Celsius and him trying to steal the market, and that's just okay. The interactions between Faris and Okarin are great, and seeing her more normal side is always fun. Plus, the main characters becoming maids is just fantastic. It's such a great idea. Even Luka gets in on it. But I don't like the pace of this story, the payoff, or even the general theme. So, it was just okay. Suzuha's route was pretty crummy. Now don't get me wrong, I really liked the Suzuha parts. Hearing about her new future, seeing her and Okarin bond, all of that was great. But the other half of the story is focused on Daru. And that annoyed me. He is so incredibly stupid in this story and so extreme, and I just did not like the character that he became in this. I did like the ending of it where he met Yuki, but that was the only part of his story that I actually liked, and I wish that he wasn't so heavily involved in this plot. Luka's route was mostly a miss for me. Okarin does have feelings for Luka, but he is a guy. That's half of the conflict in the story, Okarin coming to terms with his feelings for Luka, and it's a little frustrating to say the least. The second conflict is a dragon though, which is a cool idea and it leads to a nice conclusion, but the pace of the story is very slow all the way to the end. I am happy that they had the courage to write this and they didn't back down with it either or turn Luka into a girl just for the sake of this one story. Nope, they had the courage to do it, and that's great. It's just not a very interesting story. Mayuri is the locked route, and I fully get why. Her one is so full of fan service, it's crazy. Like, for one, the group goes to a pool, which means swimsuits. Also, Daru has no nipples. But the story here is quite light. It's more focused on character than actual plot. But I won't lie, it is so good. Despite all the fan service, Okarin and Mayuri are just great, and I really was rooting for them throughout this entire story. Also, watching this made me want to get my own Robo Mayuri, so if anyone has one and can please send it to me, that would be fantastic. In my opinion, Steins Gate My Darling's Embrace is not worth it. As the first spin-off to a Steins Gate game, it didn't really deliver. The mashed up common route, the lack of choice in the character routes, and the quality for half of them being just okay makes this a hard pass. If you are super curious about any of the individual character routes, just look them up online and follow it there. You don't even have to read the common route because you'll understand it just by sitting through the character routes. It's also really expensive for some reason, maybe because it only came out 2 years ago, but damn, I don't get why it's this price, so definitely not worth the money. So guys, tell me what you thought about Steins Gate, My Darling's Embrace. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Which character route was it your favorite or least favorite, and why? So I had a tie between Moeka's, Kurisu's, and Mayuri's. Like, I knew Kurisu and Mayuri would probably have been good, but Moeka, it was like, that was the standout to me. That I was laughing the most and I had the most fun, while Mayuri's, I was just like, oh no, the most. So yeah, let me know your thoughts and feelings on these, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!